Hello, my crafty peeps. I'm Marie, an American expat that lives in Portugal. Welcome to What the Craft. Normally, I cover what I've been doing creatively that week. However, this video is a bonus. I went to Scotland to meet up with a friend who is visiting the UK, and this is our conversation about her volunteer work at Grace Cathedral, the San Francisco Giants, crafting and traveling, among many other things. This episode is a little longer than usual. It's about 15 minutes. So apologies for that. And then also, my mic was not working properly. So the sound quality is awful. Besides that, I was also wearing a Me Made in this episode. It is the McCall's 7862. It's a dress. It does look a little tight on me in this video. And I think it's because I might have eaten too much food in Scotland. Okay, no further ado. Here's the conversation. Hi, I'm here in Scotland visiting my friend Barbara from Oakland, California. We both used to work at KQED together, where she used to organize our lunchtime knitting sessions at work, and then sometimes our non work poker nights. Later, she joined my craft group in San Francisco. And hi, Barbara, thanks for inviting me.
Oh, please. I'm I'm thrilled that you traveled from Portugal to see me here. So just lovely. I don't feel like it was an invitation. I feel like you really made an effort to see me. So thank you. I loved it, and I'm bragging about it.
Okay, Barbara, tell us what kind of crafts do you do and how did you get into them?
Well, being this age, I don't really remember who taught me to knit, and I wish I could. I know my mother and grandmother knit. I do knitting primarily, and I knit almost every day, almost always while watching television. So a lot of my projects are simple, not complicated, sometimes small things that I can do and also easily travel with.
So, what craft project have you been working on while you've been traveling on this trip?
I thought you would never ask. First of all,
Wait, let's show our matching
oh,
project bags.
here we have matching project bags. San Francisco Giants Stitch and Pitch Nights, which I also organized. By the
Yes.
way, one time I brought so many people, 50, that as a thank you gift, they gave me a replica World Series ring, which I didn't bring. So too bad.
How big is it? It must be huge.
It's this big. Yeah. And I've worn it in the presence of Giants, rabid Giants fans, and they were salivating. It was so much fun. Yeah. Okay. So this isn't much to show. I did buy yarn here because I used up the yarn that I brought for the project. So I'm working with a heather tweed green, going to make a hat. I pretty much generally travel with a craft that it's always knitting, and hopefully it's just one skein. Sometimes, if it's not international travel, I'll let myself bring two skeins. But then I can always raid my sister's stash in New Jersey, so that doesn't matter. But here I finished up two hats, and I actually had such a lovely time in a wonderful hotel on Iona that I finished the last one after I had left the hotel, and that when I got back to Oban, Scotland, I mailed the two hats to them along with a big pot holder that I made when I traveled. Oh, the other craft I occasionally do is I make pot holders from when, we were in like fourth grade. And I might still have that loom.
It's the weaving, right? Like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
loops. Yeah.
yeah, the looms, fits on a loom, in and out, in and out. I make these when I know I'm gonna be traveling, I make a bunch of them, usually while I'm either watching the Niners game or Formula One with my boyfriend Norman. And then I bring a bunch of them because they're flat, they pack flat, and they're kind of fun to give to people, usually a surprise. And my best story about that is I arranged to go on a The easiest tea house trek you can do in Nepal. I was privately guided with two young women guides, Nepalese, and it was about 6 nights. And I brought, you know, four-ish pairs of potholders with me, and we stopped at a place that was called the Happy Heart Hotel, run by three sisters. And one sister was known for making local whiskey, so she was sort of like a local bootlegger. So there was a lot of people coming back and forth. And the other two, when we arrived, the other two were sitting. One was weaving long, thin bits of grass into mats, and the other one was kind of embroidering, almost cross stitch into those rice bags because they already have that pattern. So they were there. I pulled out my knitting. My guide pulled out her knitting. She was making booties, and we sat there. And so the four of us were crafting together. I had no common language but crafting with them, and it really bound, binded us. And so when I left, their cooking was done on uh, a fire on the ground where they regulated the heat under the pots by pulling sticks in and out, like more sticks in, hotter, etc. So when we were leaving, I said to my guide, I said, I'd like to give them a pair of pot holders. And she was like, they would love that. So I do actually have that picture, but I offered it to them, and they just didn't really know what to make of it, you know. And they
Great.
were bright colors, etc.
That's great.
It's like sort of one of my favorite memories, and I love the thought. I left a pair at another lodge that I stayed at, and I just like the thought of these remote places in Nepal that are, like, using my pot holders. It's just yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
I've just loved crafts have been just really great for me. Yeah, added so much to my life.
What's amazing is you also volunteer a lot of your time for um, to crafting, which is you volunteer time at the Grace Cathedral Stitch Ministry, right?
I do, I
Yeah.
do. I've been going to the stitching ministry for about 22 years. I'm a co-leader of it now for about 10 or 12 years. We meet a couple of times a month, and maybe there are altogether 30 people in it. But on any of the couple of Sundays a month that we meet, there might be 8 people sitting around a table in the chapter library. It's the ideal place. Lots of natural light. There's a fountain outside, religious books that don't look like they've been moved in about 20 years. And then we're all there sitting knitting. And last year, we made well, this year, we're on track to make more than 1,200 items that we distribute to a number of agencies in San Francisco. So for those of us who are rabid, addicted knitters, and all of our family members are now too old to just make things and send them to them. It's like, well, what do you do with the stuff you're making? So this you think that it's a ministry that ministers to the people we're giving it to, but it's actually ministries for us because we need someplace to bring the stuff. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. And some of the kinds of places we donate to are a mission that we have, that Grace Cathedral has, Bayview Mission, that serves about 50 families. Probably something that's the dearest to me is the homeless prenatal program, lots of baby blankets, baby sweaters, hats, things like that, things to cheer new mothers. The San Francisco Night Ministry, which is really a ministry that ministers to the spirits of the people who are homeless in the Tenderloin in San Francisco. And so we make some things for them, but they're not just giving them out. Sometimes they'll only give out to someone who really seems like they really need something. Um, and then we make a lot of things for the Siemens Church Institute, which has a Christmas at Sea program. And they bring bags of things to merchant seamen who are on the water, away from their homes for 6 to 9 months at a time in scary times now with piracy, and, they make up kit bags for them with all sorts of knitted things and small toiletries, things like that, and, Yeah, it's just what I say to people who ask about what do you need, I say, whatever you feel like making, we can use. And the other beauty of it for me is that if you've tried to make something for a particular person, and it's frequently the anxiety is about how's it going to fit? Should I measure it against them? Give me something that you like the fit of so you can figure it out. Here you just make the thing because it's going to fit somebody. So I really love that. I really love that. It's just easy, you
And
know.
you also take donations of like yarn.
Oh, we do. Yeah, we take acrylic or wool. We prefer to have the bands on them, like not bits of things, but you know, skeins of yarn. Because when people come to us, we offer them. We say we have yarn. We just ask that you make something for us with it, or if you have made something and you pass someone who's homeless or looks like they could use something, even just cheering or comforting, just give it to them. But, that's sort of how we do it. And it's surprising. Sometimes we get to Grace and someone has left a bag of things at the reception for us. It's like presents. You open it up and it's a wide variety of abilities and finishing techniques. But the thought of it is just wonderful. We just started back giving lap robes to the Laguna Honda Elder Hostel, which they're sort of a size, if you think about it, people sitting in a wheelchair. So not too big, but it covers their legs.
Right, so it doesn't get caught up in the
Yeah.
wheels.
And we actually have one person who almost only makes lap robes, and she makes about one a week. Yeah, she's frightening, actually, and wonderful, Kathy.
You also take sewn items, right? Because I've sewn mittens before.
Yes, yes, handmade is what,
Handmade.
what we do, what we take, but yeah, not like dresses or aprons or things like
No.
that, but, hats and mittens,
Hats, mittens,
scarves,
lap
man.
blankets.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's great. I'll include links below for how people
Oh,
can
that's
donate or
lovely,
how to
thank
get.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow,
So,
wow.
what other crafts are you working on at home that aren't portable?
I always have a baby blanket going, and it's from yarn that is it makes what appear to be flowers just on its own. It's wound that way. I always have that. And then
Do you know what brand that is of yarn?
uh, Blossom Chunky, I think, is
Oh,
one brand.
so it's like self striping, but self flowering.
Yeah, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
It's really fun. And of course, as with anything, people are like, "Oh my God, did you do that?" And you just say, "Yes, I did." But they don't know that. It's all you do is just keep knitting and you get a row of what looks like flowers.
that's great.
It's lovely. Yeah,
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 I'll send
it's
me a
really
link. I'll
lovely.
include
Yeah,
that
yeah.
too.
And okay, you asked. I'm working on a sweater. I'm challenging myself. I'm working on a sweater that is so complex uh, that every piece that I do I'm now gonna work with a friend. I saw the sweater on her. I loved the sweater, and then when I looked at the pattern, I thought, "Yeah, challenge yourself, Barbara." And I'm still glad I did. Martha, if you see this, I'm still very happy that you're still mentoring me on this. But every section of it that I do, I'll have to measure it against what she's already finished to know how to make it adjust to my body. And, it's gonna take me a while, but, I got the yarn on sale. I mean, come on. Malabrigo. And a
Malabrigo on
color
sale.
and a color that I need, it'll match these glasses. So,
That's great.
I've done the first section so
How
far,
long?
so
How long ago did you start it?
Oh, thanks, Marie. I
Not shaming you.
started well, I'd say, like, at least 6 months,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
maybe 8
Yeah.
months.
I feel like it takes me a year to finish this because because it's a little complicated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's why, baby sweaters, baby things, I mean, oh my god, they go so fast. It's really good. It's just, for new people, we always say scarf, hat, scarf generally, and, for a child, small, uh, and always, choose a yarn that's not too much of a novelty, but colors you like,
Yeah. And black is definitely not a good yarn, even though
never
it's my
black,
favorite color.
never black.
Do not knit or crochet with black if you are beginning because it's so hard to see.
Or if you have older eyes.
Okay, I did.
So,
Last question. I know you got
uh-oh.
2 more days in the UK,
Oh, there.
but tell us what you've bought.
Oh,
What
that's
crafts have
cruel. That's really cruel. So, all right, we
We
went to a craft store that we found. The yarn cake looked really great. Luckily enough, we only had a half hour there. I
Wait,
made
pause 1 second. Is the crazy thing is they're having a yarn festival starting tomorrow, but
when
we're
we're
gonna already
both
be gone.
leaving tomorrow.
So
Yeah,
saving
we
our
didn't know.
wallets.
Seriously. Not to mention like having to then pack, check 3 suitcases. Um, so luckily, half hour, we got there with just a half hour to go. Before we went, I gave Marie permission to stop me from, I could only buy 1 skein because I bought a skein for her and Iona, and so I had that much space in that piece of luggage. So it could only be 1 skein. Then I walked in, I looked at everything, thank God it was a small store. I looked at everything and I found something I'd never seen before, and I was like, "I love this." And I did what you should never do. I bought yarn, I loved it. I have no idea what to make out of it or what I'm gonna make out of it, and it's gonna be in my stash now.
And
But
I failed her. She said, "Only let her buy 1 skein," and then because she said, "I don't know, what am I gonna make?" I'm like, "Buy 2."
well, and actually, she didn't fail me because I was almost tempted to buy 3. And then she said, "Well, I didn't stop you at 2, but I'm stopping you at 3."
Well,
So
for 3, I was like, "What do you do with 3?" 'Cause I knew you weren't gonna make a sweater out of it.
that's right. I already
And
have the sweater I'm gonna make.
yeah,
Yeah. Thank you for not asking me when I'm gonna to commit to when I'm gonna finish it.
and that's all you bought though, on
Yeah,
this
oh, I
whole
bought
trip.
1 card. Oh, of yarn?
Just
Yeah,
all
I
kinds
didn't
of
even
ones.
buy a yarn for myself and Iona. I know. I said, "No, I'm just getting it for Marie," because at that point, I wasn't exactly sure you were coming. I said, if I don't see Marie, then it'll be for me, and if I see Marie, then it's for her, and I can buy more." Yay.
I was worse. I should
Ah!
confess. I bought 4 skeins of yarn.
Small
They were
skeins.
small.
Mine
They
were
were
big.
yeah, well, they're fluffy. They're fluffy. And then I got 2 sets of double pointed needles and some, cords that swivel for the exchangeable needles, which I had never seen
Oh,
before.
yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, swivel.
Yeah,
I've
right?
never seen that,
I've never seen it. So I was like,
ever. Any
"Did you
like
hear the woman at the store?" She was like, "Yeah, buy them. They're sexy." And I was like,
oh, I missed that. I would have wanted to record that for Rob. Okay.
I think that's it. I think we'll wrap it up. Thanks for talking
I
on
love
camera.
doing this. I love doing it. Oh, where else can we meet? But I
Next
have
year.
to have the sweater finished.
Okay,
Okay.
deal.
Thank you, Marie.
If you made it to the end, thanks for watching. I don't make this for a general audience, nor do I make this to generate income. So I'm flabbergasted if you don't know me and you're still watching. If you want to share in the comments what you've been working on creatively, or you just want to introduce yourself, please do. And in the meantime, craft on.